If you're an aspiring lawyer, let's talk about one of the most important skills you could possibly need, and that is communicating with clients effectively. So whether you're in a meeting or sending an email, here are our top 5 tips for really getting that communication right first time. So our first tip is to listen actively. So this is when a client is talking to you, make sure that you're letting them talk without interruptions and that you're paying attention to their concerns. So things that might include paraphrasing what they've said can really show that you're definitely listening well. So you could say something like, so what I'm hearing is, and that can go a really long way to making sure your client is feeling heard in their consultation. They're spending a lot of money likely to be with you. Tip number 2 is to keep it simple. Not everyone speaks what we call legalese, so try and avoid that jargon there. Try and break things down into plain English that clients will understand and they'll thank you for it. Tip number 3 is to be honest and realistic. So when you are managing expectations of what your client can expect, do not sugarcoat things or make promises that you can't keep. It's better to say, this is what we can aim for, but here's what might happen, than to overpromise and then have to sort of backtrack on that. Tip number 4 is to adapt your style. So you'll have different types of client throughout your legal career and you need to make sure you can adapt your style to suit the client. So some people are going to prefer sort of short, straight to the point updates and others are going to want detailed explanations. Figure out what works best for your client and make sure you're applying that. And tip number 5 is always to follow up. Clients will really appreciate it if you can send a summary of meetings or important points in writing so that your client has a clear record of what's going on and they can look back at that anytime. It also shows that you're on top of things, which is always nice to be. Have you got any other client communication tips? Drop them in the comments below.